Good morning. Well, whenever you're watching this, I will say happy Monday. This video is going to address why Baba Yaga, why Baba Yaga's hermitage. If you pay attention to any more esoteric trends or writings or personalities, witches, divination, that whole sphere, you've probably heard about Baba Yaga and seen books and maybe followed people whose path sort of focuses on the Baba Yaga archetype. So for myself, I first learned about Baba Yaga maybe between 15 and 20 years ago. The first account that I read about her that I really liked was in Women Who Run with the Wolves, although that chapter is actually kind of more about Vasilisa. It's the story of Vasilisa the Brave, I think. I don't know what she calls it in here. And even though ancestrally both sets of my grandparents came from Poland, and my maternal grandparents were from what is now the Ukraine. That's where their village was. So I read about Baba Yaga. It really resonated with me because there was, ancestrally she was part of that region of the world. I see her more as a mythological figure, folk figure, and an archetype. And because at the time I was probably first starting to go through perimenopause, she particularly appealed to me because she was this powerful old hag. And so fast forward, like this would be probably 12 years ago now, a few things all coincided at once. My kids leaving home, going to college, going out in the world, and going through my menopausal journey. It was still perimenopause at that time. And experiencing divorce. And all three of those things were, there were a lot to deal with all at once. There was a lot of loss. So when I went through my divorce and I knew I needed to find a new place to be and to have this different focus in my life, I kept thinking about Baba Yaga and how my new home would be Baba Yaga's hermitage or Baba Yaga's house, in the sense that I was both moving into this phase of my life where I would be solitary and I would be creative, I would have to be resourceful, I would have to find my own power. So while I don't necessarily see myself as Baba Yaga, the archetype resides within me. And also from the aspect of the challenges that would come to me through moving. I mean, it was big. It was a big deal. It was traumatic, and there's still loss and pain about that. But having this focus and sort of feeding my own internal, how do I say this, nurturing myself through identifying with this archetype and also seeing the challenges and the pain and the trauma from the lens of, okay, this is the challenge that Baba Yaga or the universe or whatever you want to call it is giving me. Is my heart pure? I hate to say that though. I don't want to, purity, no. Are my intentions grounded and authentic? You know, these questions that I ask myself all the time. So coming back to, you know, why did I change my channel name? Well, there's a lot that has changed in my life from when I first got this channel, which was in 2006, which is mind-boggling to think about. And I want to use it as a way of expressing more of my creativity, my resourcefulness, my ideas, just interesting kind of stuff that may have something to do with folklore and esoterics, but it's more grounded in my relationship with my garden, with my art, you know, with community and all of that. That's the other thing I was going to say about Baba Yaga. It's the idea of, and actually this is true for a lot of witches in folklore. She's very in tune with nature. She's very in tune with the cycles of dark and light and all of that kind of stuff. So that also resonated with me. So I'm watching my time here because I want to keep this relatively brief. If you want to learn more about Baba Yaga, you can read the chapter on Vasilisa in Women Who Run with the Wolves. This book, Baba Yaga, the Ambiguous Mother and Witch of Russian Folklore, Andreas Johns, is very dense. It's actually rather academic, and I haven't made it all the way through myself, but that's a good one. There's a couple of newer ones. Ask Baba Yaga by Taisia Kitaiskaya. I'm sure I'm saying that name wrong, and I apologize. And then there's some fiction that I really like. This is by a local author, Chris Spisak, and she's Ukrainian background. This was a fun one. Thistlefoot is another one that is really quite a delightful story. And this one I just read recently, The Witch and the Tsar. There's a lot of historical context in this one, very good. All three of these, Thistlefoot, the Baba Yaga Mask, and The Witch and the Tsar, have to do with these ancestral ties to the Baba Yaga figure. And lastly, there's Madame Pamita's Baba Yaga's Book of Witchcraft, which is more like hands-on practical things you can do. Although I'm not really a spell worker as far as my practice goes. It's more of a green witch, I guess. And there's also this series by Catherine Arden, it's called the Winter Night series. That's a good one too. So that's it. That's why Baba Yaga. And I haven't figured out my schedule yet for videos, but I hope to come up with, maybe I'll be doing 2 videos a week on different themes here at Baba Yaga's Hermitage. All right, folks. Bye-bye.